Hey guys, it's Sean here from Common Box, and I'm here with Justin Delhon. He made top 32
Yes.
at, what was the event?
Lorcana Challenge Atlanta, the first ever one in North America.
Nice. And what were you playing today?
I was playing Steel Song, but not the flute version, but the lantern version.
And why did you think this was the deck to play?
I wanted to play a deck that the format of the tournament was quite interesting. It was best of twos, which I'd never played before. Obviously, if anyone knows, like my background's for Yu-Gi-Oh, and it's always best of three. So I wanted to play a deck that I wanted to play Steel Song because it plays like a Yu-Gi-Oh deck. But the main thing was I wanted a card that went second, and Lantern is one of the best cards in the game to go second because it catches you up in ink on turn two. So it applies pressure on your opponent. And so if I had to go first half the time and the other half I had to go second, I wanted a easy mulligan for all the games I go second, which was Lantern.
All right, awesome. So let's get into the deck profile.
So yeah, obviously 4 Lanterns was like the main part of the deck. And then 4 Cinderellas, then 4 Robin Hood, and then 2 Captain Hook. I just wanted to play a few extra 1-drops. I was playing 8 for the longest time, but the games you don't open one were a struggle. So this was like the best one to buy you turns because I'm not like, I don't gain lore very much at the beginning of the game in this version. So I just wanted things that applied pressure to my opponent to not gain lore, because if we were even throughout the first few turns, I felt like I could win. I played 2 Mr. Smee. I really wish I played more. This card was excellent all weekend long. This is my favorite card in the entire game. It's just a Yu-Gi-Oh card. Just search, it sings the spells, like it just does everything I want a card to do. I played 2 Benja. This is probably a mistake. My deck loses to red-blue pretty hard, and so putting in cards to beat it was probably not the solution. The solution was probably just to admit defeat to it and put more cards in for the other matchups. So I kind of wish this was, I think it was called Rise of the Titans, the 3-drop that outs locations, so that I just had more outs to the purple. Red purple, excuse me. 3 Rapunzels. I was wavering between 2 and 3, 2 and 3. I probably could have played 4 based on how much green I played against, because it's just one of the best cards to draw against that, because when you replace your hand against them, they can't really catch up. 4 Beasts. Some people are not playing Beast, and that totally makes sense in the other versions. The reason I like it is because of Lantern. So if you can get the perfect line, which is Lantern and then Beast on 4, you'll get 1 draw for sure against most decks, but a lot of times you'll get 2, and that's like a lot of pressure. And then if they can't deal with it, it just kind of spirals. And then 4 Robin Hood. I mean, this card's probably the best 5-drop the deck has. I don't think there's any debating that. I played 2 Tinkerbell. Probably could have played 3. The way I built my deck was to try and play against everything, and like I said earlier, that was a mistake. I really should have just honed in on a couple of, like, not a couple, but all the matchups that weren't red-blue and just hoped to avoid it, because even with all these changes, my red-blue matchup was still terrible. This was the absolute best card of the weekend for me. I played against so much green, and Simba against green is just, it's like Exodia. When you play Simba against green, he kills something automatically, and then they can't go sideways because he can kill 2 things. They can Zeus it, but he still has 2 more health. They can't sing Strength with Ursula with 3 characters because that'll only do 6. It survives like everything. And so it's just one of the cards that so I played against green 5 times in the weekend total throughout everything, and 2 times my opponent scooped immediately to me playing Simba in like an even game state because they just couldn't deal with it. Then 2 of the big Cinderella, I cut this down. It's fine. The problem with my deck is I sing songs with the little Cinderella a lot so that she doesn't survive. So shifting doesn't happen as much in my deck. So I'm not a big fan of the big characters that you have to play and wait a turn to get their effects. Most of my big characters will trigger on summon. And that's just like a Yu-Gi-Oh philosophy. Played 1 Surfer Stitch. I've always liked this card since it came out. I wanted to play more, but to be honest, I wish it was Simba. It was fine, but Simba was just so impactful. So that's it for the characters. Then played 4 Bare Necessities. One of the ways my deck loses is to be prepared. So against red-purple, I like to mulligan this out and then have 4 copies in my deck, so that the goal is on turn 6, I have at least one of this to then, when they're on 6 ink, look at their hand and decide if I want to commit to the board, or if they have multiple Be Prepareds, I can Whole New World, or I can just rip 1 and then kind of keep status quo. It just really, really helps in that matchup. And then I played 3 of each of these, which was fine. I know people play more, but I'm not playing flutes, and so Against my bad matchups, I don't find this that helpful. I find this one more helpful. But against the good matchups, this is like a blowout. So it was fine to have that number. And this song's like one of the craziest songs they released. It's so broken. So I had to play 4 of it for sure. And then 4 Whole New World. I'm not slamming Whole New World on like turn 2 like some people are with queens. I don't play the queen shift. The reason I don't play the queen shift is because of Lantern. I just hated hands that had both. I wanted to establish a Lantern every single game that I could. And so the ideal line with this is playing this on 4 after playing a 5 drop. So singing it with Ariel after you play a Beast or a Robin Hood, it puts a lot of pressure on your opponent. And then the last 2 cards was 2 Grab Your Swords. I was between 2 and 3. I changed it to 2 because I got really sick of drawing it off the mulligan. So anytime I opened it, I would mulligan it away, and there was only 1 left in deck to draw, which made it a lot simpler to like see less of it. But I played a lot of games where this would have been an excellent card to have just because of the amount of green I played against. And that is the deck profile.
All right, awesome. Now, I know that Ursula's Return wasn't part of this format, but what do you think will be the best deck after, when now you can play regular tournaments with that set?
Something with blue. I'm working on something with this group with Steel Song, which plays no lanterns and has the item removal. I think that's probably the way I want to go initially. The green matchups are really good, so I want to keep in the damage cards, but being able to add in songs to out items is probably the way I want to try this. I also really want to try the new Ariel, the 6-drop, because the problem with that is she's so much better with Lantern because you can play her on 6 and you'll have 7 ink, and then you can use the ink to sing a song and kill another character. So I don't know. I have no idea how to play this deck with the new stuff, but I just know that the ramp deck gets a lot better, so it's going to be a little bit of an uphill battle.
All right, awesome. So any shoutouts?
Yeah, one is obviously to Common Box, my favorite store. They're the best, and they have Lorcana singles, and that's where I get all my cards. 2 is to my friend Silas, who plays a lot of Pixelborn. I don't play any, so I just pick his brain. I don't look at deck lists. I just build decks and have fun playing with whatever I have. And then the other one is to PPG for running an awesome event. It was their first one. They initially had 500 people, and because of the demand, they upped it to like the 2,000 or whatever it was, and it went way more smooth than I thought it could have gone for how quickly they had to put it together, and it was awesome. I hope I get to go to another one.
All right, awesome. Well, congratulations again. You are currently the best player in Edmonton for Lorcana, so congratulations.
Okay.
All right, thanks. We'll see you next time, all right?